All right, my name's Tom Loranger. I lead the Water Resources Group in the Southwest Regional Office, Sally's office. And first of all, I see many familiar faces out there, and I just want to say thanks for coming once again. Appreciate all the good advice and input you've given us over the last couple of years. Sally mentioned we actually have 3 separate statutes that direct us at the Department of Ecology to protect flows. And one of those, the oldest statute goes back to 1949. Another point I want to make is that this community has made significant investments in salmon habitat restoration in Chimacum Creek, Snow Creek, Salmon Creek, and Targu Creek. So over the last few years, we have covered a lot of ground in eastern Jefferson County. We've had public workshops here in Fort Townsend. We've had public workshops in Quilcene, in Chimacum, and numerous planning unit meeting sessions, meeting with other members of the public and interested parties. And so our road time has been about, okay, how can we protect flows as required by law and still be responsive to the other needs of the community? So coming here tonight, I believe that with this proposal we have, we are going to be responsive to the other needs of the community. Okay, could Amy have that? So I want to back up for a few minutes and talk about, so we're here to talk about this water management rule or in-stream flow rule. That's about protecting flows, protecting water rights, and having linkages with future water supply options and having conservation standards for exempt wells. It's not about large-scale new water supply projects. The legislature was very clear. They thought it best that for water supply planning it be a locally driven process. So I wanted to show you members of the Water 17 Planning Unit. You'll notice the Department of Ecology is there, Department of Wildlife is there. I'm very pleased that we are a participant in this process. Watershed Planning Group in Water 17, I won't read you the names, but you can see them there. They actually put together a watershed plan. They approved the plan in 2005. Major components of this plan include looking at, and as required by law, you need to look at water supply options, including storage, conservation, reuse of water. They've done that. And an optional component of watershed planning is to work with ecology for an in-stream flow rule that we're talking about tonight. So the planning unit made good progress on that. They didn't quite cross the finish line. They handed it back to us a couple of years ago. So what we're here about tonight is talking about this water management rule or an in-stream flow rule. So I just wanted to separate the two out. Okay, since earlier rule proposals going back to 2005, and particularly the last year, we spent quite a bit more time learning about ag issues, learning about specific growth rates in subbasins at the county, a little bit more work on stream flow variability, and also more work on real fisheries utilization in eastern Jefferson County. And I can say that the amount of time we've invested in this community so far exceeds any of the other rules that we've put together across the state. So based on that, we've been able to make some adjustments in the proposal. Ann Wessel has a PowerPoint. She's going to go through what our current proposal looks like. And before she does that, I just wanted to highlight, here are some of the significant changes from earlier drafts. No slides, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first of all, as Sally mentioned, this rule will allow rooftop rainwater catchment. When used on-site, a lot of feedback from the community, from the county, from the PUD, from the Olympic water users, from folks we've met. They would like to be able to use rainwater catchment on-site. Earlier proposals we had would do this through a sub-basin general permit, kind of a clunky process where we would have to, at Ecology, put our hands on it. What we want to do with this rule is just say, it's out there, we don't even need to specify a catchment limit. I want to introduce Kurt Unger, our hydrologist at the Department of Ecology. He's done a lot of work in eastern Jefferson County in regard to rooftop size, catchment size, and environmental impacts. So if you have questions later, he's a good guy for that. So this is one part that I'm excited about because every year I get calls from Grays Harbor County to Jefferson County from people that have wells that are dried up or they're saltwater intrusion and they can't use them. And they ask about rainwater catchment, and I have to say, we think it's a good idea, however, we think it's against the law. So I'm excited about this. First of its kind in Washington State, this is I would call it a leading edge proposal. So that's one. Two is we've negotiated with Fish and Wildlife for bigger reserves in two of the more watertight basins. So now for all the 17 sub-basins except for one, which Ann will talk